Good morning, and welcome to Shawnee Mission Unitarian Universalist Church. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are in your life's journey, you are welcome here. If you're interested in getting to know more about our church, please fill out our Get in Touch form using the link in our video description. Or if you want to learn about Unitarian Universalism, please come to our Just the Basics class next Sunday.
Hello everyone, I'm Jim Christ and I serve as co-chair together with Jennifer Nelson for the SMUUCh fundraising auction. I know you're saying to yourself, auction? We didn't have one this year, and you're right. While COVID prevented us from having our usual in-person auction event this year, there's nothing to stop us from holding it online, and that's exactly what we're going to do. This year's fundraising auction will be online in mid-February 2021. Since this is our first online auction experience, we want to make it as simple as possible for item donors, bidders, and for the auction co-chairs. Our auction will be in a silent auction format and will be open for bidding on Saturday, February 13th. The auction website will be open for bidding for a week and will close on Saturday, February 20th. Items that would normally be in the live auction will be moved to the silent auction platform. These include things like choosing a sermon topic, banning a hymn, choosing the hymns for a service, leave a legacy tree, reserve parking space for the 21-22 church year, fabulous art objects, baked goods, wine. While the ever-popular poster parties won't be possible, there are some things that might be done online. Zoom classes on cooking, art, chess, language, no contact personal services like yard work or repair, outdoor socially distanced activities. We know there's a lot of creativity in our congregation, so get your creative juices flowing. While we are learning how to create and manage an online auction, please start thinking about what you might donate. We'll be getting back to you after the first of the year to let you know how to find and complete the auction item donor form. This has always been a fun event for our church, and we anticipate having a lot of fun this year too. Thanks so much for your help.
Welcome to 2021. I'm Reverend Rose, the minister here at SMUUCh. It is a joy to see you and an honor to be broadcast from the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art to your home. Today, we will be delving into the question of what it means to set an intention, what it means to believe in ourselves, but also to meet ourselves where we are and create gentle, manageable goals for ourselves which will aid us in our journey towards wellness. So if you have a piece of paper near you, go get it so that you can take notes. Because I take my job as your minister very seriously, and I'd like to invite you to take your job of spiritual development seriously as well. Bring a notebook to worship and write down the things you're thinking about. Take the possibility of your spiritual growth very seriously. Your wellness truly depends on you, and I want nothing more than for you to be well. But the real question is, do you want to be well? Our theme for January is imagination. So let us pretend for a moment that we are new to the world, that we are beginners. Let us take a moment in our initial meditation to look at what is around us, what is in our immediate vicinity. If you were a time traveler, what would amaze you about the products or placement within your home or wherever you are of the plants? And now close your eyes and take a deep breath, offering gratitude for every chance we get to say goodbye to the old and greet each new moment with fresh eyes. And now repeat after me our first mantra. I will find the embodiment. I will find the embodiment. And now please remain in your bodies, and using that humming work that we worked on over the holidays, join us for our meditative hymn. Now, I do actually think that when the music comes on and you're at home, that you are singing and humming. Let us sing.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time we have struck out in anger without just cause.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For the selfishness that sets us apart and alone.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
Please affirm with me that love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship to the end, that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with one another. Hi kiddos, it's me, Reverend Rose. Today I want to talk to you about something called beginner's mind. Beginner's mind is about being able to clear your thoughts from your head. And I wanted specifically to talk about this because I think it's important for us when we make art to have space so that we can really begin anew. For example, if you wanted to draw a new picture, could you draw a new picture over a piece of paper that looks like this? Or would you make art on a piece of paper that looks like this? You start making your art on a blank piece of paper. In the same way, when we work to clear our minds or have a beginner's mind, thinking like we're just beginning something new, We can do that at any moment. You can always just say, I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to pretend like I'm a beginner and then start again. So I think that if you want to make art like this fun piece where the giraffe turns into the Eiffel Tower, or if you want to make art that is more chunky, like these beautiful galactic cats, or if you want to make art that's more abstract, like these rainbow fishes, or if you like illustrated dark pieces like this blackbird, or if you like informational pieces like this piece of art that the SMUUCh Junior High group made, or if you like order of service art like this, no matter what type of art you like to make, it's important to start on a blank piece of paper. So here's your homework. If you start to feel like here's your homework. If you start to feel like your brain is a bunch of jumbled thoughts, like the scribble paper, just take a deep breath and just imagine that blank piece of paper and imagine that your mind is like that. Bye. And now we have a new liturgical element in our order of service. It is called our embodiment moment. It is so important that we are moving right now, especially if we are trapped inside. So these exercises, we're going to do one every week, and they are meant to be gentle, pleasant, enjoyable exercises. Okay? So first we're going to find some space as tall as we can in our spine. Maybe that means scooting to the front of the chair. And then all you're going to do is just turn your head. Everybody look left. Everybody look right. That's from The Lion King. You're just going to gently move your head back and forth. You can do this at any time. If you ever feel yourself emotionally distressed, just go into your body. This is the time in our order of service where we expand the caring love of our congregation, where we draw to heart and mind those in our midst who are suffering, those who feel the sweet relief of their burdens easing, and those who are pensively thinking about what to do. We think today of everyone who is facing an obstacle that feels overwhelming, those who cannot find the way out of no way. We think of those who wonder if life is over. We think of those who feel that there is no peace for them. Now let us do a little bit of breathing work so that we may prepare for our second mantra and then some compassion, kindness meditation. So breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth. And then repeat after me. I will find the compassion. I will find the compassion. You can draw your attention to your heart space and draw to mind someone who is struggling. Someone who you would give everything if you could. Close your eyes and envision their face right in front of you. And as you take deep, loving breaths, send them a well wish or a prayer. Wish for them that they are free from suffering. And now I invite you to draw to mind somebody who's really just getting your goat. Just envision their face, their smile. Don't think about what's bothering you. And repeat after me. I will find the compassion. And then send them a well wish, a thought, a prayer. As always, we rejoice over the exquisite beauty in this world, as small or life-changing as each piece of beauty might be. Please comment in the comment section your joy or sorrow and enjoy our meditative hymn once more.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For losing sight of our unity.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
Our reading today is by Denise Levertov. It's called Beginnings. But we have only begun to love the earth. We have only begun to imagine the fullness of life. How could we tire of hope? So much is in bud. How can desire fail? We have only begun to imagine justice and mercy. Only begun to envision how it might be to live as siblings with beast and flower, not as oppressors. Surely our river cannot already be hastening into the sea of non-being. Surely it cannot drag in the silt all that is innocent. Not yet, not yet. There is too much broken that must be mended, too much hurt that we have done to each other that cannot yet be forgiven. We have only begun to know the power that is in us if we would join our solitudes in the communion of struggle. So much is unfolding that must complete its gesture. So much is in bud. Every day, a group from the church meets on Zoom to meditate together. We do this because it brings meaning to our days and because it brings peace into our lives. We do all sorts of meditations, body meditations, loving kindness meditations, meditations on poetry, but the point of all of the meditations is to press the pause button, turn down the thoughts, and focus on the very sounds and sensations of our breath so that our minds and our hearts can become aware of the present moment, beginning again and again. Today I want to talk to you about beginnings as we greet this new year. So I want to tell you about a concept in Zen Buddhism called beginner's mind. This concept is best exemplified like this. The first time that you learned to play a beautiful piece of sacred music, you may be profoundly moved by your own song, changed and made aware by it. But the next 25 times you practice this piece, how will your renditions feel? You may have become accustomed to it. And in the same way, we can become accustomed to our everyday life, our everyday duties, and our everyday beauties. So accustomed that we let moments of great depth pass us by because our minds are racing, because we are living reaction to reaction, because our minds are like a paper that's been scribbled all over. And that's when we have lost our ability to pause, become aware, and begin again. Now, I know that this is an intriguing topic for this congregation because many people have expressed a desire to me to learn about Buddhism and even more so about meditation. But it seems that while people are interested in Buddhism, it also remains a religion which is very elusive to us Westerners. And as it should, because Buddhist doctrine is, in some ways, the antithesis to how we've been taught to think. For if we do some comparative religious studies and we look at Buddhism next to the Western theological landscape with which we have been raised, there is a vital, hair-raising difference. Here's what it is. In the Western religious world, the very base of the whole religion is the belief in a ground of being, that there is something that holds us, that there is a grand love, a soil, something solid and dependable, maybe a divinity which is present, trustable, and always available. But in Buddhism, the central teaching is that we are standing on nothing. Below us, supporting us, There is just emptiness, vastness, silence, space. Nothing holds us up. The Buddhists believe that the ground of being is an illusion. This might feel very scary to us because nothingness in a profound sense can be very scary, but there is also a freedom in it and a peace in it. Because perhaps Buddhist doctrine is telling us that peace is so elusive for us because we search for it in stability and in constance. We believe we need to achieve something in order to feel peace. But our peace won't come with being done with the chores. Our peace comes with doing the chores, all the while having a beginner's mind. In fact, it is specifically stated in the teachings that in a beginner's mind there is not the thought, I have attained something. Indeed, in seminary I studied with Dr. Hyung Kyung, who had, by all accounts, attained a lot. She lived at the very top of a beautiful seminary in a turret in the heart of Manhattan, New York, and was regarded as one of the leading theologians in the world. She wore expensive silk robes and burned incense from Korea in our Wednesday morning seminars. She had attained a lifestyle and a prestige that many would envy. But one day she opened up to us and told us about a moment of profound realization for her. She told us a story of the year she lived in a monastery, the year she gave her life over to meditation. During that year, she meditated all day, as Buddhist monks and nuns do, and one day it became known to her suddenly that she had gained enlightenment. And the thought popped right into her head, I've gained enlightenment. And so, of course, she ran to her teacher and told him that she had gained enlightenment, and he said, well, with that one thought, you lost it. For the purpose of the beginner's mind teaching is that you will always be a beginner. That in the beginner's mind, there are endless possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. With each situation, each project, each piece of art you make, each moment, we can become a beginner once more. From doing the chores, to doing major surgeries, to starting a mural, to sitting down to open your journal, the practice is to have a clear, peaceful beginner's mind. Now, part of the trickiness in preaching about Buddhism is that the concepts are so much easier to understand when paired with a meditation practice. But starting to meditate or meditating alone is nearly impossible, at least for me. I just sit down to meditate and then stand right back up, unless I have a regular time that is set to meditate with other people. Then the whole world awakens, and I find myself making time for meditation by myself in the morning or before bed, and being able to sit by myself. Because it's like this. The practice grows. And I have to say that meditating daily on the 5 o'clock connecting Zoom call has made this quarantine a lot more manageable. As the time has gone by, the group has been able to meditate for longer and longer. As each member has gained a felt understanding of stillness, we have built up on our practice and encouraged each other. Because I feel strongly that we could all benefit from this practice of beginner's mind. Being able to find peace in emptiness not only supports our own spiritual health, but it also changes how we relate to each other, to ourselves, to our work, to our duties, and to our art. So what if we were at the beginning right now? What if we had only just begun? Only just begun to love the earth, to know the depth of our spiritual selves or our artistic selves? What if we have only scratched the surface of our compassion, only begun to appreciate the depth of each moment, including this one? Let us become beginners now. Take a deep breath and look around the room. And as you look, notice the shadows. And now find the places where the light reflects. Off the wood, off the windows. This is how a painter looks at your room. And now close your eyes. Take another deep breath. And now focus on a single sound that you hear. This is how a soundscape artist listens to your room. And now let us meditate just for 30 seconds. So I'll invite you to close your eyes, put your feet flat on the floor. And just for 30 seconds, just follow your breath in and out, adopting your beginner's mind about your own body, about this present moment. You may open your eyes. The more you practice, the closer to the surface your stillness is. The more you practice emptying your mind, the beginner's mind, finding length in your spine, taking deep breaths, and becoming aware, the easier it will be to find peace throughout your day. If we can avoid the expert mind, which has decided everything, and instead maintain our curiosity, our awareness, and our openness, we will have set ourselves on a good path. After all, it is said that before enlightenment, we chop wood and carry water, and that after enlightenment, we chop wood and carry water. If we practice stillness, we slowly start to find ourselves having stillness throughout our everyday lives, and then our lives will have less bitterness, impatience, and reactivity, and be filled with stillness, peace, enlightenment, and enjoyment. So I do hope that you will begin this year with your beginner's mind, deciding not that there is something you will attain this year, not setting your sights on achieving any particular thing, but instead simply practicing beginner's mind and keeping open as you progress through this year, in your work, in your art, in your relationships, in your home, in your personal goals. For when we do endeavor to remain open to all of the options, when we do spend time in spaces where we are encouraged to be a beginner, we will find that we have only just begun to imagine the fullness of life. We have only begun to know the power that is in us. So much is unfolding that must complete its gesture. So much is in bud. Blessed be, and amen. Please find yourself in a moment of peacefulness and try on your beginner's mind. I invite you to close your eyes and follow your breath from the very bottom all the way to the very top. Notice one sound and become curious about it. When did this sound start? What sounds does it cover up? And now let's do a little intention setting in yourself. So to begin, I invite you to draw to mind an image of yourself as a child. Imagine yourself right in front of you. Maybe it's a photo. You decide what age. Imagine your smile. Knowing what you know about yourself and knowing what you know about your needs for wellness, your child self's need for wellness, just take a minute to set an intention for yourself spiritually for this year. And now please repeat after me the third part of our mantra. I will find the vulnerability. I will find the vulnerability. Blessed be, and amen. The work of the church depends on us. In the context of global and national strife, SMUUCh can create and foster spaces for connection, healing, and justice. We invite you to give generously to support the ongoing work of the church. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared values.
Leave your heart at the door. No, I won't be held responsible no more. And leave your love on the floor. 'Cause we both been known to take what we can store. Is what's in store, and leave your lovers behind. I don't want you if you can just be mine. so that I can have it. Oh, feeling something like you could be made into a habit. And I've been feeling so good.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry with us in our hearts until we are together again.